So let's go and log into our management console. So in this hands-on section, we will try to see how to work with IAM as the users and group and policy service. Okay, directly logged in. Let me sign it out from here first. So you guys have to log in with the root user account. You have to log in as the root user account because this is the fresh accounts and we don't have any modifications. But my account is already been created and used for a very long time. Although I'm going to log in with the root account itself so that we'll not have confusions. Hmm? But it is strong. Yes, they can do it. Right. Now, when you log into your root account, so this is the management console homepage that you will come across from your accounts from your end. And here you have all types of services that will be listed out and you can access it from going to the categories of the services. But the easiest way is to search the service from here on the search tab. Right now, I want to go for, I want to access IAM. I'll type IAM and there you go, right? Next, we have the notifications. So if you have not paid the bills or if there is some downtime in any of the regions and availability zones, any of the AWS data centers, the notification will be provided on the notification icon. Then we have the customer support. You can create tickets for unresolved or undetectable errors that you are not able to resolve it, right? You can go with the support and create the ticket. Then there is a setting button for changing the themes. You can go for dark theme and you can go for light theme. So I would like to stick in the light theme so that the record will be more easy to follow. Next to that is the region. Next to the settings button, we have the region locator. If you click on that, you will see all 33 regions here. And for our account, the personal and free tier account, we will have only 24 or few regions available. That's it. Not all the regions will be available. So we don't have the other 12 regions. We don't have access to Hyderabad. We don't have access to Melbourne, Spain. But it's okay. We are not concerned about the regions. Almost all services that are there in all the regions are there in the all the regions. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Right. Next to that comes your account configurations and user related informations, billing related informations, service quotas you can do, organization and account level configurations. Organization means, suppose you are managing multiple accounts. Okay, you have operations testing account, you have development account and productions account, and you want to manage all these accounts from one account. You don't want to pay different. You want to pay bills for all these three different accounts at one time, and you want to do the management like that. You will create organizations. Remember this. Then we have service quotas. AWS will never say there is a limit of services, and they'll be keep on providing the resources and capacity for you. If you feel that more than this is not suitable for us, then you can restrict the quotas. Billing and cost management, and then the currently logged in users security related credentials and configurations. Okay, if I want to change my password, if I want to change the currently logged in user's password or activate the key or delete the access keys, I can do it from here. All right. Then finally the classic sign out button. I'm not talking about the one more icon here. If you hop over on this icon, it says Cloud Shell. Okay. Cloud Shell is the same as AWS CLI. For some users, management console access will be there. For some type of users, management console access will not be there. Example, the developers. They don't have to come into management console and do the things, but they have to run few commands related to account changes or resource changes. They have to download AWS CLI, and they have to install it separately and integrate it with the existing command prompt. You can do it for Linux, Mac, and Windows. For all three different AWS CLI packages are available. When users have the management console access, they don't have to really go and separately install the CLI. They can use the Cloud Shell here. And they don't need the access key also. Why? They have already authenticated to your account. Good. Before we proceed, I would like to show or point out to something here. See that it is showing me labs-AWS innovative. For you guys, it'll show the numbers, 12-digit numbers. Is it showing name? Okay, good. All right, then it is fine. But anyhow, we have to set up an alias name, or we have to remember this 12-digit account number. When we create an IAM user, and that IAM user is trying to log into your AWS account, he has to provide this 12-digit number. I'll show you when we are talking about this. Let's go to IAM. And also, if there is no user name and at the rate the account name, then currently you are logged in as root account. Observe here, it is only talking about the account name, labs-AWS innovative. It is not saying Venkatesh at labs-innovative, which means that currently we are logged in as root account. Okay. Huh? It is an organizer. It is the account to represent that you are a different user, not the root. Let's go for IAM, managed access to AWS resource. You have to enable this. This is our IAM. So IAM will be presented with a dashboard. The dashboard will give you all the numbers that you have created using IAM resource, like users, groups, how many policies you have created, all those things at one page. You don't have to run around the options in order to collect the information. For example, I am going to ask you how many users are there in your AWS account. So you don't have to run around everywhere. How many users, how many groups, wait a minute, I'm clicking on user, I'm waiting for the page to come up, nothing like that. In dashboard, you have all the informations. So this is one of the amazing things in AWS. The user catalog is very much useful. It is not only user friendly, it is it is having very much useful features in it. Something like dashboards. All services has dashboards. Productions account, yes, but when you're doing for your lab sections accounts, I would recommend not to enable it. If you lose the device, then it will be difficult to gain the access. It's there here only in dashboard. It's saying now. Scroll down in this dashboard, you will see something called AWS account. Stop there, and you have account alias. Click on create account alias and give a name. I have the name Labs AWS Innovative. When IAM users are logging in, they don't have to remember this 12-digit number. They can use this account alias. Yes, yes. Okay. After that, on the left control panel, you will see user groups. Click on user groups, and I already have so many groups here. So let me create a group here. I'm running out of the names. Let's say students. This is my group name. And the next suggestion is, do you want to add any users? There are so many users, but I don't want to add any of them. After that, if you scroll down, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು attach policies ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Now already discussed ಮಾಡಿ. It's a good practice to attach the policies to group level, not on the individual user level. So individual user level ಮೇಲೆ add ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ what problems will happen also ನಾವು discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ we have one special permission, that is administrator access. If we attach this administrator access policy to the group that we are creating right now, by default any user that gets into this group will inherit the permission of root account. He can do anything and everything, but apart from deleting deleting the root entire AWS account. Yeah, the entire group can do anything. They can act as root, sudo as concept. Select administrator access and click on create user group. No, not policies, groups. Select groups and in policy, create group. You can give, I have given students as a group name. Okay. Now the group is created. Inside this group, you can see we don't have any users. We have 0 users here. What I'll do, I'll click on users on the left control panel and click on create a user. Let's name this user as Chirag, and next there is an option which says provide a user access to management console, and it says optional. Mean to say, by default users will be not able to log into management console if you don't select this. Make sure you select that. Illandre ಹೇಗೆ ಸರ್ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? Outside the management console using the AWS CLI or any other automation platforms. They will provide user access to management console ಅಂತ select ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Providing console access to a person or to a entity ಅಂತ. Right now I am giving it only for an IAM user. Yes, you also. Console password ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Select it as custom password, not auto generated password. If you are doing it for somebody else, ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು IAM ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ then select auto generated password, because anyway he is going to reset the password. Yes, please don't select the show password. I am not going to show it. User must create a new password at the next sign in. It says recommended, but really not for our situation. ನಾವೇ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ನಾವೇ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸೇಬಲ್ ದಟ್. ಆದರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then you have to enable that option. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅದೇ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ click on next. Next comes the permission boundary. So we have to set the permission for user so that he can only access these many resources. Role based policies will be applied here. You can add the user to the group now, or you can copy the policies from any of this groups, sorry, user, or attach policy directly to the user. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, I am going to add this user Chirag to the group. Which group? Students. So Chirag ಯಾವ access ಇರುತ್ತೆ? Administrator access ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Click on next and click on create user. It's going to ask you to download the CSV file, but it's not needed. Okay, if you guys are forgetting the information, then you can download it. ನೀವು ಇಮೇಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಇದನ್ನ. Add user to group and select the group you created. Yes, next. No, that's not needed. I'm going to click on return to users list and say continue. Let's test this. If the user Chirag can log into this console and he can act as root and he can do something else. Open an incognito or private tab. Go for management console login. Select IAM user this time because we are not logging in as root user. We have the IAM user. And now you have to type the account alias name. If you don't have one, you have to type the 12 digits of your account and click next. If it's a valid name, it is going to prompt you for giving the username. The username is Chirag, and this is the password. We don't have MFA enabled by default. You can see we are directly logging into the system management console. Quickly, we will test if Chirag user has the root permissions. How to test it? Let me go, since we are doing the IAM, let me go to IAM user. Right. Uh, right now, I have logged in as Chirag, but due to my system slow or internet slow, I don't know. Things are not loading up here. So, right now, clearly I can say I have logged in as Chirag because on the top right corner in the account section, it is telling that Chirag is logged in Labs Innovative. Everybody. Okay. Now we will finally test if Chirag has the permissions of administrator by creating a user. I'll make a slight change in this setup. Give him administrator access. I want to set this for a single user. Next. When it comes to set permissions, I'm not going to add him to the same group. I'm going to attach the policy directly. And I'm going to give only limited permissions for user Amit. As we are doing IAM, I will give him IAM read only policy, read only access. He can only read, but he won't be able to manipulate or modify anything here. Attach policy directly, search for the policy. IAM ಅಂತ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ IAM ಫುಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಈ ತರ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 1200 ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ AWS ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ಹೌ ಟು ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಹಿಮ್ IAM read only access and scroll down, click on next, create user and return to user list. Now what I'll do, I'll log out from Chirag and I'll log in as Amit. Account alias, username is Amit and provide the password. Already it's saying access denied. Right? If you scroll down, it will say all access denied only. See, access denied, access denied, access denied. Then what Amit can do? Amit can read the information that is there in IAM. How many users are there? How many groups are there? Right? These type of analytics he can do it, but he won't be able to modify anything. Here does not have yeah, access keys are not there. Forget about it. Can I go and delete a user here? I'll select the user Albin here. Click on delete and type the username Albin to confirm the delete. It is going to throw the error. Not authorized to perform this task. Okay, cool. Not only this, let me show you one more interesting part. Suppose I want to change my password now. User Amit want to change his password, and he also wants to enable MFA. Can he do that by default? No. He cannot change his own password. Then he has to request the admin to change the password. Admin will generate an auto password and he will give it. But in my organizations, I want to give the users the permissions to change their own passwords. I'll show you what will happen right now. How to change the password, sir. Uh, Click on, if you have logged into your user account, you want to change it, you have to do it from here. If you are an admin and you have to do it to somebody else, then you have to select it from here. For example, I won't be able to read. I think I'll be able to read it. Ah, okay, see here, already it's throwing error. If you want to do it to somebody else, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೆಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಕನ್ಸೋಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, auto generated password or custom password, you can do that. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯೂಸರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ click on the account and select security credentials. You will come to the same page. Right? Update console password. Option is there, but you won't be able to do it. Now the password matches, but this guy doesn't have the permission to change his own password. These type of customizing policies will be there. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ IAM ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಐದರ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್. ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು combine the actions and create policies. How to do it? We'll see. Uh, I already have a root account logged in here. I'll go to that. I don't know whether this is a root or uh, So root user we have. So go to user Amit, permissions. Now we will do add permission, not directly add permissions, create inline policy. Whether you want to do it in JSON or whether you want to do it in Visual. So Visual is easy for us. Choose a service. IAM is a service which allows you to change password. Right now I want him to have write permissions, change password, correct? Create his own access key. See, it's okay, non-native. Uh, Create virtual MFA device, deactivate MFA. Can you guys see there? If there is something called delete, uh, okay. Delete access key. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Delete access key. Anything related to MFA? Yeah. Enable MFA. Deactivate MFA. Enable MFA. Is that delete MFA? Delete virtual MFA. Okay. Let's say these are the things I want to give the permissions and specific resource ARNs for this actions, or you want to give it for any in this account. Okay, I'll say any in this account, MFA, any in this account, any in this account. I mean to say he can be able to change the informations for anybody in this account, or you can go with all. The wildcard may be permissive, so you have to either give the ARN to restrict the access only for that username. For example, I want only Amit to change his password, not others, other actions. So then what you can do, you can click on add ARN and provide the ARN here. What is the user ARN that you can do? For simplicity, let's keep it for any in this account, and let's say next. Policy name, custom IAM user policy. Okay, anyway, it's name. Permission defined. So we have IAM right access and resources multiple. Create policy. So we have two policies attached to it. Now let's go to the Amit user account. Cancel this and retry. Update console password. Enter a new password. Sorry, current password. New password. Either the new password does not confirm the account password policy. Okay, I'm using the same password, so it is not allowing me. Let's do one thing. Change password. Okay, let me do it. So this is how you manage the policies. Okay. Now the last couple of part of this section is how to enable MFA. Now Amit has the authorization for enabling MFA. Our MFA na ಅವರೇ enable ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು, disable ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ admin ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. But If admin is doing that, then things is not going to work out. You have to set the personal tokens for yourself. Security IAM credentials, right? You can go to security credentials. You will come to the same page. So from here, the second stop is multi-factor authentication. You guys can use Google Authenticator. I am using something called Authy. If you install Google Authenticator or Authy, so that should work for you. Basic configurations you have to do from Authy or the Google Authenticator. After that, click on Assign MFA. Give a device name. I'll say phone Amit. The authenticator type is virtual MFA authenticator app, not the security key or hardware token, which we are talking in the James Wan movies, right? Click next. So if you have set it up your authenticator app, you will get an option to add account. So you can click on add account and scan the QR code. Show QR code and scan it. After that, you have to finalize the setup here. If you click on save, it will start generating the 6-digit codes. You have to put the first 6-digit code here. But who puts the first 6-digit code? They will get it. Add MFA. And that's it. Now let's test this if MFA is working or not. Logout ಮಾಡಿ. Username logout ಮಾಡಿ. Let's log in back. It's here, yeah. It is there. Now the page is coming from sign in page is coming from there. I have never seen that. That doesn't really make any changes for us. So you're not going to record your browsing histories. Not at all. Cookies, caches. So if you don't want to store it, then use incognito. So ಯಾರೋ ಇವಾಗ ಬೇರೆ system, if somebody else come in and access your system and they normally open up the browser, they will not be able to see the websites that you have visited or any interactions that you have done in incognito. They'll get to know, not your system. Okay, it is asking multi-factor authentication, which will be running in my system, my phone right now. Submitted. Password wrong. My bad. 482738. So this is your uh, MFA. Okay. But I would recommend you guys to disable it. It's okay. This IAM is global. IAM users doesn't have region specific. If that's the case, then you have to create so many users in so many different regions. For region specific, you have to create accounts. That is quite headache. Sure. Why it's taking so much time? So if you are sure about, don't enable it for root account at least. So if you lose your phones or lose a device, then you won't be able to regain it. That is there. If you have taken backups, fine. If backups are not there, then one case. So that is why. Anyway, I don't need this. I'm going to remove this. Okay, that is about your MFA. The final part of this IAM we will do is we will try to install an AWS CLI and we'll set up the access key and we'll see how to authenticate it from outside the management console and how to interact with our services. So for that, I'm not going to work with Amit user. I'm going to close this guy. Okay, it's not recommended to work with root key also, but anyway, I'll delete it later onwards. If you're doing it, do it. Otherwise, no. Anyway, you will have that. First, what we will do is we will go and download the CLI, which I have already done. You can say download AWS CLI. See, I can report it. I can report that and start blocking it. Hmm. But not for everything. So you will see this link, install or update to the latest version of AWS CLI. Open it. You will get a downloadable link for different platforms. For Linux, how to install it. For Mac, how to install it. They'll sell you. I mean, they're going to instruct you. So here we need it for Windows. Download this MSI file. If you click on download, ಏನೊಂದು 50 MB ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Less than that also might be. Once the download is finished, you have to install that file. MSI installation file ಬರುತ್ತೆ, install ಮಾಡಿ. Install ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ command prompt open ಮಾಡಿ. And type AWS space hyphen hyphen version. You should get this. If you see this prompt, then installation is successful. Even they'll tell you. Run this to verify the installation. There are a lot of documents you can follow on your own from AWS. Now, AWS CLI is installed. How to authenticate and start working with the services? First, we need to have access keys, security credentials, So I already have one access key. So it's a very bad practice to keep the things. I'm going to delete it, deactivate it, and delete it. But if you're using it somewhere, don't delete it. Create the access key. It's a only two keys we can create. Only two keys can be in active state, not more than that. If you put request for AWS, then probably they might take some extra charge and enable that. Two keys are already created. There is something that they're talking here about the root access key. It's very dangerous to have the root access key and accessing it from outside. But I'm going to delete this immediately after this lab. Create access key. So access keys are created. No need, you can, if you want this again, you'll be using this every day in and out, then download it and keep it. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not needed. Okay. Let's see how to do this. To set up the account, we have to run the command AWS configure to authenticate from CLI. Copy your access key, paste it, and copy your secret key, paste it. Region, you can type AP South 1. You have two format of output. One is JSON, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಂದು YAML ಬರುತ್ತೆ. JSON ಅಲ್ಲಿ okay ಆದರೆ ನೀವು JSON readability ಇದ್ರೆ you can go with that, or you can go with YAML. Easy to read. Right. Next, what? See, AWS service name. Right now we are interacting with IAM, and if you don't know how to proceed, you can type help. This is like man pages in Linux. So right now I want to create a user or query user. Right, you can see all these things. Let's try to create a user. This is the command. Okay. Q to come out from this. AWS IAM create hyphen user. After that, we need a sub command. If you don't know the sub command, type help. So path we can define. Right now we can define permission. Sorry, username. Q to come out. Hyphen hyphen user hyphen name. And let's say the name has Sohan. Enter. The user should be created. And it will also reflect here also. Right. Like this, you can start learning about the AWS CLI. Not really recommended, but it is easy. If you are coming from a Linux background, know how to use the help and do the things. This is how you do it. Okay. Right. Now, before we wind up this, let me go ahead and delete the root key which I had created. And no need to delete any users and all. This is not going to give any cost for us. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಪಾಪೌಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. I'm going to tell you guys. You have to make sure you read the terms and conditions, the I button. You have to click and see what is this. If there is possibility of charging without free tire, immediately say look into the pricing details. Of course, you have cloud trial here. Go for cloud trial, and you will have trial. You will have all the trials that we did right now. Click on trial. Uh, Wait a minute. Click on event history. You have this. Current activities are not updated yet, but it will update. Recently, I deleted a log group. I deleted cluster. Deleted stack. Who deleted it? The username is there. Timestamp is there. So this is the log activities, right? And I think you can store the logs only for 90 days. After that, you need to make some alternatives to store these logs. Every 90 days, it's going to recycle the logs. See, download events, that is what it is saying. Create an Athena table and run the queries. You can do that also. Okay, so let me sign out and stop the recording. So we'll connect tomorrow with another new concept. It will be interesting. I would request you guys to be here. So then, see you tomorrow.